seen things people wouldn't believe.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brian at Whisper Status 74. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the channel. If this is the first time you were seeing me, please consider liking and subscribing. We are real tech for real people. Today's video is going to be my favorite demo on YouTube. It is the LG Global Wildlife demo. This is an absolute gorgeous demo, which is filmed in 8K. It has dark scenes with stars in the beginning, as well as HDR, high peak brightness, a lot of saturation. It is a gorgeous demo. It's only about 1 minute and 41 seconds. You've seen it on the channel many times. It is safe from copyright, so it's something that a lot of us will use. And you're going to see it on the 77-inch CX, which is burning in behind me. We'll also see it on the Sony A9S, followed right behind. So we'll be filming them not side by side, but we'll be filming them continuously in different shots. So you'll see the 77-inch CX, the Sony 48-inch A9S, the Sony 49-inch 950H LED, the Tcl R635, which is 55 inches, also the 75-inch Sony 900E, and lastly, we're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to have it on the 85-inch Z9G, which is filmed at Value Electronics. That one was filmed during the day. It's off angle, but I'll still put it in here. I'll label each one. You will not see it in HDR, as I'll be labeling it, and as I edit, I lose HDR. So you still get the gist of how they all look. We'll put them in their cinema presets and see how they kind of compare. It's just a fun little montage with one of my favorite demos. Check out LG Global underneath in the description. Check out this demo on your display. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Up first is the 85-inch Z9G 8K Master Series OLED. This one is actually at Value Electronics. Please check the description below and consider making your next AV purchase through them. The Master Series is my favorite LED ever made. The Z9G is absolutely gorgeous, and it's actually a possibility I may actually purchase it in place of my LG CX. We'll do a video. You guys can help me with that decision. It is absolutely stunning. 85 inches, 8K, absolutely gorgeous. It has 700 zones. It is 4,000 nits. It is my dream TV. It is absolutely stunning. It's not the best way to show it, as I'm not real close to it, and it's actually daylight. There are some reflections on it. But you can see by the demo how natural and how absolutely gorgeous it is. And you may see it in my home, but it is probably the most impressive LED I've ever seen, as it's one of those LEDs that is going to that 4,000 nits where we all want it to go. It is very thick. It's not for everybody. It's an absolute monster, but it's something I think is absolutely amazing. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Sony Z9G. Now, the order we have these displays in are different from how I described it in the beginning. So what I'm going to do is talk over each demo and let you know my thoughts on each specific display that's here, and the strengths and what I like about them. That's the Sony Z9G, again at Value Electronics. Up next is the Tcl R635 Mini LED. This is my own personal display. This display is a fraction of the cost of the others. It is mini LED, and this is probably the best value I've ever seen, even though I've had Vizio P series and Quantum XP series. To me, the Tcl R635 gave the most value. It is mini LED, had very good blacks, good upscaling, excellent motion in gaming, had variable refresh rate. Even though it's not HDMI 2.1, it does have some of those features. It was killed all over YouTube for having terrible blooming. I will say that if you have blooming on your Tcl R635, it's probably a defective panel. It is definitely a panel lottery kind of display. I love the display, Dolby Vision, and I was very happy with it. Very simple to use, very good all around. But the key with these displays is value for the money, giving you all the high-end features and specs for low-end money. There would be some blooming around subtitles, but that's about it. Black bars are black and very good black levels, and it is a very vibrant display. And I was very happy with it. I've enjoyed it, and it was an easy display to buy, as you don't have the buyer's remorse of the others that are on this list. Up next, what we're going to see after we finish up with the TCL, I did not get the Hisense. Many of you wanted to see me get that. These displays, some of them are my personal, so I did not purchase the Hisense. Not as big a fan as I am of the Tcl R635. Up next is the Sony X950H full array local dimming LED. It is Sony's flagship this year at 4K. I had this one from Value Electronics. It is 49 inches. I enjoyed it. I had it for 7 months. It just recently went back. You can see the shadow detail on Sony is their main priority. The 49-inch has less speakers. It doesn't have the X-wide viewing angle. It only has 24 zones, but it does cover. The local dimming is very good and does limit blooming. The challenge with it is being so small. It has a narrow viewing angle just by its size, but without the X-wide viewing angle, it does have a higher contrast ratio. If you like Sony, the natural colors, it is absolutely gorgeous. And Sony, to me, has the best game mode in the business as far as how it looks. It does lack HDMI 2.1. We are seeing the HDMI 2.1 is not quite as important as many of us have thought, especially initially, as it is causing problems with some other displays on this list. It is gorgeous. Again, with blooming, if you have a Sony 950H, just like the 950G, and you have excessive blooming, send that panel back. They're not to have blooming in the same spot. It is going to be here and there. It is a full array LED, but if you have excessive blooming, chances are you have a bad panel. Panel lottery is alive and well, unfortunately, now more than ever. So again, if the blooming is excessive and it's in the same spot over and over, chances are it's a defective panel. But Sony, again, prioritizes shadow detail over black level, and that really does make for a very pleasing natural image. Up next on the list is the 48-inch Sony A9S Master Series. Master Series, like the Z9G, they are calibrated out of the box in the factory. The A9S Master Series was also stunning. Basically, it's a baby A9G. You can see right there on the stars, it does keep shadow detail very well for an OLED. Excuse me. Very, very pleased with the Sony OLEDs. Why I like them is they are very streamlined. Unlike the CX and even the C9, where there is so much flexibility in settings, Sony OLEDs are very straightforward. Also meaning there's no issues with them. There's no raised blacks. There's no problems. You see is what you get. And it's a very solid image. Again, very natural image. You know, always considering Sony pictures and being as true to what the director wants and the creator wants. The A9S, like the A9G before it, is gorgeous out of the box, looks good in every preset, and actually doesn't have any real flaws. If the only flaw that I would give it besides the LG is I like the flexibility of the LG panels to really change the settings quite a bit. But the A9S is amazing. It's only in 48 inches. Sony's lineup is a little weird this year. It's very expensive for its size. But if you're looking for a 48-inch OLED, it is absolutely gorgeous. And I do feel the AAH is equally gorgeous. It's kind of become the stepchild, not being a Master Series, but it is equally gorgeous in my opinion. I've spent a lot of time with both of them. So give the AAH, the A9S, and A9G a look. They are absolutely stunning, especially if you like Sony's displays. Now up next is the newest display that I have here. Is the Samsung Q900R from last year. This was an 8K flagship. Now don't judge the Samsung too harshly in this video. I'm still getting the hang of the settings. It does have a little bit of a bland. This is in its natural setting, so I'm getting the hang of it, but I wanted to include it here. But it's a little bit of a dislike panel from last year because it is ushering 8K. It was the first 8K, but it was Samsung's flagship of last year. And considering how good the Q90R was, the Q900R is also amazing. It's all about getting the hang of the settings for me, but this is roughly how it looks. Now 8K at 55 inches, which is the size of this panel, isn't really necessary, but you can see as you get really, really close to the screen, you cannot see any pixels. There is no delineation of pixels. It is smooth. It looks more like a monitor the closer you get to it. There's not a lot of interest on this panel on the channel, but I had to put it in. The Q900R being the first of its kind, is also continued for this year, as the 950TS and the 900T do not have a 55-inch variant. There's not a lot of need for that resolution at this size, but Samsung is a very popular brand, and if you want that as your monitor, it is a very good choice. I am enjoying using it. However, at 8K, I recommend going probably larger than 75, depending on your seating distance. For me, anything larger than 77 should be 8K. If you're close, you can have 85-inch LEDs as long as you're farther away. But I have enjoyed the Samsung Q900R, and looking forward to doing some more content on it. Up next is my own personal LG 77-inch CX. This display is absolutely stunning, but as we know, the LG has been very finicky this year, and my panel is no exception. Actually, this panel is going back as I have some screen uniformity issues, and I do have not only raised blacks but fluctuating blacks, which we'll do videos on. But when the CX works, it is nearly impossible to beat, as it gives every feature out there that you're looking for. There's a lot of not talk about HDMI 2.1, and it's not necessary, and it doesn't do it well or whatever. At least it's trying. At least it has all the features you will need, and you can disable those features. But CX is absolutely stunning. I was very happy with it. I've spent time with the C9 and the B8 and the C8, and really think the CX is the most complete display out there, especially in regards to future-proof. Dolby Vision, variable refresh rate, NVIDIA G-Sync, FreeSync. You do have everything pretty much covered. It is very complete. If mine just was okay, it would be the display without even flinching or looking at anything else. It is probably my favorite display this year in terms of, again, of its feature set and overall picture quality. It just happens to be a little bipolar and does struggle to maintain, especially with all the updates that we're giving it, hoping to repair. And that's how, software is these days. But the LG CX is absolutely amazing. And hopefully you have better experiences with yours than I have with mine. But chances are I'll have another CX 77-inch soon. Up next is the display that absolutely has my heart. It is the Sony 900E. It is a full array 4K local dimming. It was my savior out of all the drama I had with the most expensive displays, the P series, the KS9000, KS9800, 940E. The 900E was the voice of reason. It was a tremendous value. It was absolutely gorgeous. It had a very good black level, a good peak brightness, and the best motion in the business. I will do a separate video on my love letter to the 900E, but it is now in my living room. It actually took over the place from my Panasonic Plasma, and I'm happy to be enjoying it all over again. It is, to me, one of the best LEDs ever made, as all the displays that were high-end that year may have beat it in one category or the other, but none of them can beat it all the way around. It didn't have any real weaknesses, and more importantly, it was big and it had value. There was in numerous sizes, and it is beloved. It does not have Dolby Vision or any of the gaming features, but again, its pixel response, its motion is fantastic. It makes an excellent PC monitor, and I've enjoyed it for many years, and I will enjoy it for many, many years to come. But that is the lineup. The only one that I do not have in the house is the Z9G. Every other one of those displays, as in my home, the A9S is going back, and so is the 950H, but the other ones are all still here. And I'm very proud to show you this group. I know it's a weird video. This is the LG Global video. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this montage. I'll be doing it with another couple demos, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Are any of these displays something you are interested in? I will see you soon. Thank you for watching. Take care.